right now. Okay. So yeah, don't worry about it. I'll set all this stuff up because we got post-production. We edit a bunch. It's just more about getting this content.
Right.
What we're really doing is with the show, this is a segment where we're discussing, this is really the motivational talk at the end. So the show, all right. So close. So I was telling you about the show, how it's 30 minutes. It'll be once a week, 30 minutes. Start off with a topic, got a monologue, a transitional story. I've got 3 reporters or 3 jocks that work with me. They give their own personal practical advice, how you can take the topic of the show and apply it to your personal life in fitness, diet, your personal relationships, and how you engage with your community. Okay? Then after that, we have a show psychologist that's going to talk about the behind the scenes. So whatever the show's about. So the first show's about transition. The psychologist will explain to you, when you're transitioning, this is what's going on in your head. This is why you feel the way you do, right?
Right.
And then at the end of the show, hey, thanks for joining us. Now we're gonna give you your motivational message for the week. And so this is just, I've got an Olympic hurdler, a bobsled pilot for Israel, another football player. So what we're doing with Joccupation, the bridge, we're bridging the gap. So what that means is you're funneling athletes, it doesn't matter what sport, into the bridge, right? On one side. The other side of the bridge is where nonprofits are, right? Like yours.
Right.
But also service providing companies like real estate, psychology, financial advice, career development, go down the list.
Right.
So what we're doing with Joccupation, the show is having the diagnostic conversation. Then we have Joccupational Therapy, which is a podcast we're going to do. Once we get these first 4 episodes recorded, we're going to get back on that podcast. Then we have the website. The website is going to house all the traffic. So if you watch the show, go to the website. You listen to the podcast, go to the website, right? But if you're on the website, go to the show, go to the podcast, right? So that's how it all intertwined. But what we really are trying to do is we're creating an intersection where athletes, if you're in transition, you need something, or you want to engage your community, you can come here and either find a service or find a cause. Right? On the other end, everybody needs a customer. Nonprofits need people, donors, they need to get their message out. Service providers need customers. That's how they stay in business. You would assume somebody in transition would benefit the most from it because these are the services you need. All we're doing is cutting down the time it takes to figure it out and then get it. So that's the nutshell, okay?
Okay.
So what we're gonna do now is Ainsley Battles, Joccupation, Kenny Ladler, Motivational Talk. So we're here with Kenny Ladler. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on, Ainsley?
Man, another day, man. One, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for being part of just giving us some motivation to get us through the week. So I guess first and foremost, who are you, where are you from, and what do you want us to know about you?
So my name is Kenny Ladler. I'm from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Went to Vanderbilt University, played in the NFL since 2014, currently a free agent. I'm in the transition phase from playing professional sports to transitioning into the professional world in working in everyday life. And recently, I've just been doing a lot of thinking about self-development and reprogramming myself, reprogramming my mind, changing the way I think from being an athlete into embedding myself into something that I'm passionate about outside of being on the football field. And it's one of the challenges with doing that is just, it's almost like you start like a baby trying to figure out how to crawl and then walk. So I'm right now currently in the fitness realm because that's what I've been normally like naturally good at my entire life. And I've noticed that helping other people get fit and work out has not only been a blessing to them, but a blessing to myself because I'm providing a service for these individuals to reach a better version of themselves. And I feel like with doing that, it's benefiting their health, it's benefiting their families because now they're in better moods, they're eating better, and they're spreading more knowledge that I teach them to the individuals that they're around. So I feel like once I reach one of them, I'm reaching like five of them once I'm teaching one. So it's been it's been one endeavor I've been transitioning into, and it really happened because of the pandemic. You know, otherwise I would have probably been playing in a Canadian football league this year, but unfortunately the season was canceled because of that. But now looking at the blessing in the skies of it, it actually like had me focus on what can I do outside of football even more. And I've been putting my energy into other things outside of just working out and playing.
Oh, we lost you. Oh, there you go.
Sorry about that.
No, you good.
So I've been looking outside of other things outside of working out on the football field and mastering my craft. Now I'm starting to build another craft and learning about businesses and learning how to actually make a service profitable.
What do you tell that person when they're starting to doubt themselves, when they start saying, okay, I thought I had this dream, and right now it's getting tough and I don't know if I can do it? What do you tell that person in that hour?
What I tell my clients is to focus on the process. The end goal will come, but it's a journey to get there. And I keep telling everybody that it's a marathon. You're not going to get the results that you want over 4 weeks, 6 weeks, because Rome wasn't built in a day, and you can't build your body in a day or in a week. So we got to keep focusing on those small details and getting 1% better each day. Because if we add up those 1% over the course of 3 to 6 months, then we'll see real change in ourselves internally first. Because first we got to change our mindset. We got to change the way we eat. We got to change the way we sleep. We got to change the way we behave on the weekends. We got to change habits first. Once we change our mindset, then we change our body. After that, we tend to have that period, like you say, where, all right, I'm doing everything he says and I'm not seeing the results. That's where the mental toughness comes in, and we got to stick to the process, because that's when the grind comes in, and that's when we have to keep making the most out of each day, and eventually those results are going to come before you even know it. And it's discipline. It's a lifestyle. I tell all my clients it's a lifestyle. The way you operate on a day-to-day, it becomes your life. And if you want to look like this, you got to live like this. So put those 10,000 hours in to become that goal that you want to achieve.
What does pain teach us?
Pain.
What does it teach us?
Pain teaches you lessons that you wish you would have learned, but you had to go through that pain in order to learn a lesson. Because it's like that example when your mom says, don't touch that hot stove, and you touch it anyway. So now you learn from your personal experience not to do it. But pain, there's a blessing with pain, because it's like having a positive and negative battery. You get a little bit of bad, but there's good that's going to come out of that bad. there's a lesson to be learned that's going to be able to carry with you. So once you go through something like that again, you're not going to forget that lesson that you had, because in the end, that pain will come back, and you know how it felt. So you would not want to feel that again. So
So what's the difference between personal training and developing your body and training to compete in a sport?
the difference is you're in competition with others once you're competing in a sport. Once you're developing a body, you're in a competition with yourself. And that competition, once you're in competition with yourself, is the only competition is the person you're looking at in the mirror every day. Once you wake up and brush your teeth, once you wake up and get out of bed, you have to push yourself to the limit, and it's really up to you how much you push yourself. So nobody's gonna make you put any hours. I can only spend so much time with the person that I'm training, but outside of that, it's up to that person alone to take care of their eating habits, to take care of the extra cardio that I tell them, or the extra stretching that I tell them to put in, because those are going to be what makes the difference in the little or the longevity of the time it takes for you to get the results that you really want at the end of the day.
Like you were just saying, I used to think it was me versus the guy across. It's like, buddy, that person in the mirror, he's either going to help you or he's going to kill you. But that's the person you got to, and that's when, for me, that was a huge shift. Because I used to run track, and they'd say, you're not racing lanes, 5 and 3, you're racing the clock.
Right.
And once you think of it like that, it's a little different, because I don't get intimidated anymore, because I don't even worry about what's next to me. I'm focused in here.
Right.
But we do live in the country we live. And we're bombarded all the time. You're too this, you're too that, you're not enough this, you're too short, you're too full, you're too fat, you're too thin, whatever. What is something somebody could just tell themselves in that moment of doubt? When that little voice comes in, is like, not today. Hit the snooze button. Put some cheese on that one. Go and get the number 3. He's not going to know. What's something you could tell or advice you would give somebody that they can tell themselves to remind themselves of what they're doing? Get themselves back on track.
I tell them each day is a new day. It's a reset button, and you're either getting better or worse. You have that choice, and some days you might not feel like it. But remember, once you don't feel like it and you don't make that choice, you lost a day, and you can't get that day back. We only have 24 hours in a day, but how much do we really maximize that 24 hours? We have the ability to take control of anything we want in our lives with the choices that we make. My coach, James Franklin, in college used to tell us, control what you can control and let everything else take care of itself. So with every habit that we have, with every choice that we make, it's either going to lead you to your goal or it's going to delay it. But the choice is up to you. I can't make you do it. I can tell you what to do, but the action has to be done within you. And everybody has that voice in their head that tells them, nah, not today. I don't feel like doing it today. But everybody also has that voice that tells them you need to get up and get this work in at the same time. So which voice will you listen to at the end of the day will make the difference.
Bro, that's it. That was it. Yeah, that's spot on. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, because I mean that's what we're doing. That's all we're doing. It's trying to remind people of who you are.
Right.
It's not about trying to create something new. It's take what you've already done and push that into the path that you're, because what I'm trying to bring up to the surface is the difference between what we do and who we are. And with sports, because of, especially, it's ironic because the higher up you go, the more of you it takes. So when it's done, the more of you has to be found. So it's a little ironic that it's almost like success is the higher up you go, the farther it is to hit the ground, right?
Yep.
But it's like you just said, you're hitting that ground. You might be starting over, but you've got skills that you've already developed. You don't know you did. Because you said, this isn't, fundraising or anything. This I know cover too. Well, you actually know formations, strategy, how to improvise, how to find weaknesses, where the strengths are, how to anticipate, how to set people up. Right. So you actually have the skills. You just have to learn that playbook.
Right.
It's a playbook. Finance is a playbook. Real estate, it's a playbook. That's what we're trying to bring up to the surface is you've got, our issue as athletes is not ability, it's direction.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter what you, look, if I wanted to be a physicist, motherfucker, I'll figure it out.
Right.
We're wired that way. It's just trying to demystify everything else. So like you think of business or nonprofits or whatever it is, every game has rules. Learn the rules of the game. Then you can play. Then you play to win. We just have an information gap. That's where our issue is. Because again, if I'm running and exercise, I'm not doing econ. Well, he's over there in econ world, fat as a bitch, but he knows this. I'm fit as a motherfucker, but I don't know that. So that's even exchange, and that's value. Because they want to get next to you because you do stuff they won't do. Either they cannot do it or they don't want to do it.
Right.
But they got something you want.
Right.
That's where you got to meet in the middle.
Together.
And you got to
bridge together. That makes sense.
That's all we're doing, man. That's what we're doing. Hey, I know with time and everything on your end, and I got to get my kid to dance, but we're going to be doing a podcast as well. I want to get you on the podcast. Okay. So this is kind of like a little snippet, right? A little thing that people will see, but the podcast is like being able to sit down, chop it up, and get to know you. Okay. And then when we get the website scrubbed, I want you to put your personal profile on there, but I also want you to put your nonprofit on there as well. In the door, so others can see what you're doing. You personally, because they'll see you on this and reach out or whatever, but also what you're doing and start building that network of support as well. All right. So again, man, we're just grinding. That's all we're doing.
It don't stop.
It doesn't. But I tell you what, bro, you take those fundamentals that you've learned playing sports and figure out just the big picture. Like, what is the end game? Like, why am I doing jockeypation? At the end of the day, it's time. When you make money, you get time. The more money you have, the more time you get. That's right. This is not, you know what I'm saying? We're not launching a rocket. It's just family, kids. I want to spend time with them. So you have a shitload of money and you go do it. All right, let's go do it. That's what we're doing.
I love it.
Yeah, my friend. How's the family? How are the kids? This the life.
Man, life been 2020 been a year. I'm not even gonna lie, man.
Yep.
It's been a crazy year, but I was just in Louisiana actually this past weekend. Got to see my little brother play at Louisiana Tech, and
Okay.
saw the whole family out there too. So it was good. It was a good weekend.
Oh, that's good, man. Did they win?
Yeah, they won.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about those boys, but hold on, stop recording.